Good morning, everyone. We are ready to make our cards with the Sweet Memories collection. I am Julie with Craft with Julie, and we are going to create 7 cards today, 2 of each of these. And let me show you these real quick. Those ones, and then these. And then we have one little bonus guy. The paper was too good not to use for a card, so I'll show you how to create that. So we have 7 cards. We're using the Say It With Flowers stamp set and thin cut. This is our February stamp of the month, and we'll also be using it on a layout later today. So if you do not have this stamp set already, I highly recommend it. It is really good. I'm not a floral person, but I really enjoyed creating with this. So let's go ahead and get started. You will need a couple things. So we're going to be using the Victorian Velvet Distress Oxide, the Rustic Wilderness, or if you don't have that, Sage ink will work. And if you don't have that, I believe Seabrook was the next closest, so there are a couple options. And then you'll also want your mist ink and your intense black ink. And I forgot to list this on the supply list, but I think by now everybody has the intense black, so I apologize for that. We use it all the time, so hopefully you have it. If not, it's okay, just use a black ink, it'll be fine. You'll want some sparkles and your die cutting machine, and then you should have your pieces already cut. I have mine sitting right here. If you are new and watching this for the first time, you can get the workshop guide for free. My VIPs get it for free every month. If you place an order on my website, which is juliescott.closemyheart.com, I will send you the workshop guide for free. And I also have a link if you would just rather purchase the workshop guide, you can do that as well. So I will put a link in the description of the video, so you can do that if you would like. Okay, so our first thing we need to do is just do a little prep of the flowers. So you should have, let me grab that. Hopefully I have some washi tape, because we're going to stamp and then cut out. So grab some washi tape if you don't have any, or like a little masking tape or something. This is Close to My Heart's. We have different sizes on that. So what we're going to do is first stamp the images. These are 2 4x6s. So let me grab our stamp set. We will need this large one. I brought different sizes of blocks, so hopefully I got enough, big enough sizes for these stamps. So we'll need this large bouquet, and let's go ahead and stamp that in the intense black. All right, so we're going to make sure we get all the little, it's a big guy. So I'm going to do it in the upper left-hand corner, but leaving a little bit of an edge because we want to cut that out with the thin cut. Or if you do not have the thin cuts, you can fussy cut. These are super easy just to cut out with your scissors. So no worries if you do not have thin cuts. So let's do it on the second one. Just ink this guy up and leave a little space. And I'm not rocking this, I'm just pushing to make sure the ink soaks in. Perfect. All right, and then we're going to do this little bundle of flowers down here. And the same thing. Now, if your stamp set is new, you'll want to season it, so you can just rub it on your hand or stamp it a couple times to get it seasoned. And this one I'm going to put down at the bottom. Again, make sure you leave a little bit of an edge so we can thin cut that. And we'll do it on the second one. Okay. All right, now the last one we need is this lonely little guy right here. Is that all we, yes, I believe that's all we need for the cards. And let's see, I'll put it on. I'm going to lay it down because the thin cut doesn't move, but this stem does. And so I want to make sure I get it in the correct, I don't know what the word is. Just make sure that it is correct in its, let me check with this. Okay, so you'll see the line on the outside, that is for a thin cut. So I can see that it's going to match up with my thin cut really well. I guess my words are not coming to me today. So I'm going to do that one kind of over here. Again, leaving enough room for the thin cut, and then we'll do this one right here. Okay, now for the fun part, we're going to color these using some blending brushes and our Distress ink. Now you could, if you have regular ink, you could probably, you could do that too. I just thought they recommend the Victorian for this collection, and so it's kind of close to my heart's bringing out like these special like accessories and ink pads and things like that with different collections, and so this is the one that they have paired up with this collection, so I'm like, sure, let's use it, why not? So what we want to do is color these in. I'm just going to grab some ink on the top, and then I'm going to lightly go over the flowers. You can press harder if you want more color on it. And don't worry if it goes over onto the leaves or anything. It's going to all mesh together. Okay, so we have this little guy right here. You can do it as light or as dark as you want. And oops, I did the leaf. That's okay. We're gonna go over it with the green. And then this one right here. Okay, so we can do our second one. And it doesn't have to be perfect. As you can see in like this one, the green and the pink are kind of mixed. That's part of the look. That's what we want it to look like. These blending brushes are awesome. Have you used them before? Let me know in the comments. Something newer that Close to My Heart has had. I think they've been around a while, but now Close to My Heart carries them. And I got my hands on a couple over the summer, and I am loving how they look. That nice soft, just the softness that it leaves is just really nice. Okay, so now we're going to do the Rustic Wilderness or Sage or whatever green you have, and we're going to do the same thing. Just lightly go over. And I'm going to kind of go right down the center. Again, you can do it as light or as dark as you want. And then we're going to go over that leaf and then come down. This is a quick and easy way to color in your image, that's for sure. For the Stamp in the Month card kit, we used color pencils, so it takes a little bit longer to do those, but this is kind of fun. Okay, now if you think you have a little too much green, like right here, you can go back with the Victoria Velvet and kind of make that green lighter. If there's any other spots you need to make your flowers a little bit brighter, you totally can. Just go back over it. Okay, and now we need to do the green over here. Do you guys like the blending brush method, or do you prefer to color in your images with like markers or color pencils? Let me know in the comments. Thought this was really fun. It's really pretty, very soft, and super fast and easy. And if you've been around for a little bit, you know I like the fast and easy. Okay, so we just need to add a little bit more, kind of mute out that green a little bit more. Make sure our flowers are as pink as we want them to be. Okay, I think that looks good. Okay, we can set those aside. We are done with those. Okay, so now comes the little tricky part. We are going to line them up with the thin cut and cut them out on our die cutting machine. And we have to do it one at a time because I did not line them up. Even though they look like they could be, I didn't line them up exactly. So we're just gonna do it one at a time. And grab your thin cuts. And it's that big one. Not that one. Is it that one? Oh, there's one more. Here we go. That one right there. So these flowers can go back in. And then we need the little bunch one right there. Okay. So we're going to line those up and use our tape to hold them down. And I usually do this the other way around, but with coloring them, I thought it was easier to lay down the ink and then cut them out. Okay, so we have that one. And let's do this guy. Line him up. And then this last one. Okay. All right, so now we can run it through our die cutting machine. This is close to my heart's machine. I really, really love it. I used to have a Cuttlebug, as many of you know that, but this has been a really good replacement. So I'm gonna run that through. How many of you like die cuts? Let me know in the comment. I've been using them in our projects, so I was hoping that everybody liked them. But if you don't, this stamp set is super, super easy to fussy cut. So hopefully there are options for everyone. Okay, I'll set that aside. I don't know, my camera looks funny, but hopefully it's okay. All right, so we can set those, punch those out, and now we can do our second one. All right, right here, just going to use the same tape, hopefully. It still will be sticky enough. Oops. I can't do that over there. Okay, we gotta do it down here. There we go. Got those a little too close, I guess. And this one. Okay, and then this last one. This year I'm trying to use our stamp of the month a little bit more in our virtual craft days. I know a lot of you ordered the stamp of the month, so I wanted to just give you a couple more ideas of how you can use that stamp to, you know, when you purchase a stamp, you want to use it as much as possible. So hopefully you guys are liking that. Let me know. At the end of this video, or at the end of today, I will show you a sneak peek of what we're going to be creating next month. There'll be a sneak peek of products to come as well because they haven't come out yet. And we're also going to be using March's stamp of the month for those projects. So I'm excited to show you. Okay, so here, I think we got them all. We can get rid of this. Okay, I think we've got the hard part over. And add, there we go. Okay, oh, there we go. I don't want to lose these guys, so I'm just going to attach them back to the magnetic strip. And I am done with our die cutting machine, so I'm going to set that aside. Kind of clean up our little area just a little bit. All right, so card number 1, we do need our stamp set still. Card number 1 is this one right here, Thinking of You. So you will have, if you've cut your papers already, some mist cardstock. Here's our little 2 strips for our sentiment, some ledger papers, some mink paper cardstock, and then these 2 right here. I did forget to mention you will need your trimmer, so grab your trimmer if you don't have it. Hopefully it's just one of those supplies you have hanging out next to you. Okay, so what I want to do first is I'm just going to bring this in and we're going to cut these at a diagonal. So, okay. So from the upper left to the lower right, that is how we're going to cut them. I just line them up with the metal that's on my cutter. So I believe that was right. Yes. Okay, let's do that one more time. So upper left, lower right. And I also go from top to bottom. For some reason, if I go from the bottom to the top, it like catches on the paper and it doesn't do a nice slice. So I've learned that over the years. Okay, so we're gonna put that away. And let's bring in our card bases. Actually, let's stamp first. How about that? So we're going to use mist ink for our sentiments. It matches beautifully and it's dark enough that you can see it. So we're going to do the Thinking of You right here. I had a little friend join me, so hopefully Lila, my kitty, just walked in, so hopefully she'll not join us on the desk. I can't make any promises. She is a very curious little kitty. Okay, so we're gonna do Thinking of You. I want to stamp that in the center because we're going to dovetail on the edges. Sounds like she's just gonna go play with her brother. Okay. Put that aside. And now we can assemble. Move this here. All right. We have everything. Can we see all the things? Hopefully. So we're gonna take the mist and using the light side, so I'm going to put adhesive on the dark side. So I will put one together and then we'll just quickly put the second one together. And then we're going to, oh, now they're gonna come running here. They were chasing each other. All right. We want to leave like a little bit of an edge of that mist. Do you guys have crafting buddies too? My little kitties like to be wherever I am. It's kind of funny. They just follow me around. Sometimes my kids find little pieces of like stickers, or they found some dots on the cats. So if they walk over my desk, they usually pick up something. Okay, so let's do the mist. And I'm like, oh, that's where that went. Right in the center. So if I'm working on something, I have to cover it up, or it might walk away. Let's put the ledger paper in the center. And then our large bouquet, we can use 3D foam. Pop that up. A lot of times if I'm working on a project, I'll actually just take a picture of it before I walk away. So if it does get messed up, I can know where I left off. So there's another tip if you're working on a project. Sometimes taking a picture of it, you see it in a different way. So if you get stuck, you can kind of just look at the picture and be like, oh, I could add something here or there. And it really does help. Okay, so let's go ahead and dovetail our sentiment. So I'm going to snip up the center and meet in the middle. Isn't there a country song about meeting in the middle? I can sing it in my head, but I'm not going to sing it to you guys. I grew up on 90s country, so that's what my sisters listened to, so that's what I listen to. That's what happens with older siblings. You don't get much of a choice, but it's all right. It wasn't bad. Okay, so now we're going to add a couple little sparkles. It is really sad that I can sing all the lyrics to pretty much any 90s country song, but I can't remember my password to my computer, so whatever that means. Okay, let's quickly do our second one. We're going to do our mist. And then our corner pieces. I found on, let's see, it's the Apple Music, I guess. They do have a 90s country. And I just need a little pick-me-up. I will stick it on there because I can sing every song and it takes me back to all those happy memories from my teenage years. Now I just get to listen to whatever the husband listens to or the kids listen to. That's kind of my options. And a lot of times in the car, if I don't have anybody with me, I just leave the music off. Does that mean I'm getting old? I remember my mom drives around without any radio on too. It's kind of funny. I guess I'm getting old. All right, so let's peel that 3D foam off. I'm using the thin 3D foam. You can use whichever you prefer, but I like to use the thin on the cards so it doesn't add too much bulk. Add that in the center. I'm going to dovetail, so up the center and towards the center. And one more. What kind of music do you guys listen to? Put it in the comments. Let me know. Yeah, like I said, I don't have one that I regularly listen to anymore. It's just kind of a hodgepodge. Okay, there we go. Oh, and did you guys see that, if you're a country fan, you probably saw that Toby Keith passed away. And I was really sad. He was one of my first concerts I went to. And I can sing a lot of his songs too. So that was kind of, I was sad. All right, here is card number 1 and 2, I guess. And then, all right, card number 2, 3, and 4. Yeah, so he was the first concert I went to. It was at Weber State. If you're familiar with Utah, that is one of the colleges. It was at the D-Event Center. And anyway, it was during high school, so it was super fun. I went with my high school friends. All right, so here we have some zip strips. We have our little sentiments. We have 4 of the patterns. We have our periwinkle and our mink. So we have those. And I think we have, oh, and we need 4 of the sage pieces. So let's go ahead and do the stamping first. We are going to stamp the sentiment, grateful for you, friend. Grab our sentiment. And our mist ink. We're going to do the same thing on this one. We're going to dovetail. Make sure we get that in there. It's a tight, tight fit, so if you don't like it, let's flip it over. So let's try again. It's hard when I'm not stamping right on top of it. Maybe that one will be better. Yes. And this one. There's 2 sides to every paper. And then we're going to stamp this leaf. Just one of these bigger ones. Grab another block, and we're going to random stamp it on these sage pieces. So if I have a few pieces that I'm stamping, I will just put them together like this and start random stamping. Okay, so if you're not familiar with random stamping, we're going to kind of go in a triangle pattern, and you can move the stamp in different directions as well. So you can see this is kind of a triangle, and then we can continue off the edges. It's very sticky with our random pattern. Oop. Okay, and then if you need a little bit more, you can just add one to the edge. All right, so let's do these 2. Same thing, we're just going to turn our stamp a couple times, do it in different, kind of in a triangle pattern. And get those on there. Let's do one more right there. Okay. And then now I want to edge these with that green color. It really makes them pop. So I'm just going to lightly add some ink on the outsides. We're going to do this on the layouts as well, and it really makes a huge difference on how they look. All right, a couple more. Remember when we used to edge everything? I think we're getting back to that. I think it's coming back in style, along with overalls and things like that my daughter likes to wear. I'm like, I should have kept all of my overalls for you because I had some. It just makes me laugh. Okay, so we have our grateful for you friend, and I think we have everything, and we're going to be using these two. Okay, so let's bring in our first card base. And I'm going to just lay these down first, and then I will decide exactly where I want them. Okay. So I'm going to try and make the edge the same all the way around because this will go over the center and hide that. So leave about 1/4 of an inch around the edge. And just lay these down. Oops, I'm gonna line those up a little bit. I'll do it that way. Okay, now this guy is gonna go right down the center, so we'll cover that space up. And then we're going to take our mink cardstock, and it is going to go in the center. And then our periwinkle, I use the dark side, you can do the light side, whatever you prefer. And then we're going to 3D foam the flower. Put it right there towards the top. And then we're going to bring in our sentiment, and again we're going to dovetail that, just snip up the center and meet in the middle. Do you guys know what song I was thinking of? I need to go look it up now. I'll start walking my way. You start walking yours, something like that. I am not a singer, so I'll just stick to crafting. How about that? And some sparkles. And we are done with that one. Okay, so now we can do our second one. Same way. I'm going to just put those, lay those out so I kind of know where they need to go. And then we can attach these. How was your guys' Valentine's Day? Did you have like a dinner, or did your significant other do anything special for you? Let me know in the comments. I trying to not make a huge deal out of Valentine's Day because, you know, I don't want my kids to have too high expectations and then I have to keep it up. So I just get them a little gift. This year the girls got Lego flowers. Have you guys seen those? They're really popular to build a flower from Legos. And I say girls because I include my son's girlfriend in that. And the boys just got a regular Lego set and then a treat that they like. So nothing too exciting, but just a little something. All right. I'm going to dovetail this. I feel like those that are in elementary, they get enough from school. I didn't even do a special dinner either because 2 of my kids were working. So it was just 3 of us. So I didn't even really do anything special for dinner, but that's okay. All right. And then we're going to add our little sparkles. And there's our next one. All right, we have our number 5 and 6 right here. You can see they're a little different depending on how you cut your ledger paper. They are going to be a little different, and that's totally fine. So we have 2 pieces of ledger, some of the sage, and some of the periwinkle. So this one we're going to stamp on the ledger paper. And we're going to stamp Sending You Love. Again, we're going to use the mist ink. And this one I actually, where is the little fluffy? Like, where did my, oh, there it is. Where did my squishy mat go? Because the love is a little more solid. So I want to make sure I get a nice crisp image for that. And Sending You Love. Did you guys see my video I posted on YouTube earlier this week about fixing a solid image? I made that video and I messed up once and I did it again. And so I messed up twice. I'm like, I am not doing this again. So I'm like, we'll just figure out a way to fix it. So if you haven't seen that video, check it out. It's on Craft with Julie on my YouTube channel. And it's a collaboration with other makers with heart. So there's other videos that go along with it. But okay, so now we're going to just add a little bit of that Victorian color right there in the center, kind of behind where our flower is going to go. Anyway, so if you need help, an idea of how to fix your oopsie, you can go check that out. Okay, so we're going to just tear along the very edge of this sage pattern, just to expose that white. It looks really cool. Gives it some more texture to the card. Sorry, I keep hitting the camera, I guess. Sorry for the wobbles. And there we go. They just have a little bit of that edge. And we're going to go ahead and lay down the pieces. So we have the periwinkle first, and it will go right down to the center. Then you take your sage and add that to the center. Then we're going to take your sentiment and put that right in the center on top. Hold on, I need to fix my chair. And then we were going to add our flower. And I'm going to add a little bit of 3D foam right on the flower part, just to give a little bit of dimension. Oh, like, what is that little piece? I left a little bit of the masking tape. There we go. I'm like, that doesn't match. Right there next to the sentiment. Okay. If you need to, you can put a little glue right there to keep the stem down. All right, so that is that card. Let's do one more. Do the periwinkle. And then the sage. And then our sentiment. And then our flower. Right there. Okay, so that one is done. Now we have our last one. Is this one right here. Super easy. When I saw this little corner, I'm like, we should fit a sentiment right there. That will be perfect. So we're going to stamp Grateful for You, Friend. We've already stamped that one once, so we're gonna do it again, or a different sentiment, whatever works for you. I'm going to grab my squishy because I want a nice image, and we only get one shot on this one, so be careful. And stamp that right there in that spot. Perfect. Okay, so we're going to add this piece to our mist cardstock, and then this piece to our card base. Simple, simple, easy peasy. There we go. Okay, so that is all of our cards. I'm gonna bring them back in here. Hopefully you got those done okay. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. I will leave this video up, so if you were not able to follow along, you can rewatch this video. Or if you're just watching for the first time, you can come back and create these. Again, my VIPs get this workshop guide for free every month. If you're interested in the VIP program, I will put a link in the description so you can check that out. Also, if you place an order on my website, which is juliescott.closemyheart.com, in the month of February, I will send you this workshop guide, or you can purchase it, and I'll put a link to do that if you just rather use your own supplies. So, how'd you guys do? Let me know. Let me know. Do we all make it? These were pretty easy once we got past the coloring of the flowers, don't you think? Super easy to put together. All right, come back in just a little bit and we will start on our scrapbook pages. See you in a bit.